Hello there and welcome once again to the Mayor's Magazine. I'm Mick Cornett, the Mayor of Oklahoma City, and this is our show for June 2014. In our first segment, we're going to be hearing about a very exciting music festival that's coming to Oklahoma City at the end of this month, and Fred Hall is here to tell us more about OKCFEST. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Pleasure to be here with you.
OKCFEST is the first year of hosting a major music festival in downtown Oklahoma City. So
it is.
Give us kind of the first paragraph of what people should know, and then we'll get into the nuts and bolts of it.
Well, we've got a big music festival coming to Oklahoma City. It's amazing how we're able to have this lineup intact. So on Friday night in the Myriad Gardens and south of the Myriad Gardens, in the place just south of there, will be our main stage. We'll have free music in the Myriad Gardens from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But on Friday night, we have 5 bands that close with Merle Haggard and Dierks Bentley. And that will be tremendous. Josh Abbott, Casey Donahue Band, all internationally, nationally known bands that are just tremendous. And on Saturday, the 28th, we have got Lady Antebellum and 5 other bands, Randy Rogers. So it's going to be a tremendous 2 nights of music for Oklahoma City.
And if people are saying, well, is this jazz, or is this rock and roll, or is this country, how do you answer that question? This
year, it is going to be on the main stage country. You and I started talking about this, Mayor, about 9 months ago. And the idea of putting together a show in 3 months, and the fact that we'd be able to get Dierks Bentley and Merle Haggard and Lady Antebellum all together, it just fell together as a country show this year. In the Myriad Garden, there will be free acts, both Friday, Saturday, all Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and all of those acts will be from rock to ACM bands to very known Oklahoma talent that will be playing on one stage. And on another day we'll have gospel, and another day we'll have Latin music, and so we're going to have a compendium of great music all weekend.
And talk about the ability to pull this off so quickly, because a lot of times an event of this magnitude would take a couple of years. In fact, the organizers would probably prefer a couple of years, and you just kind of said, is it possible to do it this year? And if it's so, let's make it happen.
Fortunately, I'd spent a lot of time in Nashville from my time at Vanderbilt and working with Minnie Pearl back in those days, my college jobs, and learning how to book bands. And in the meantime, I've kept a place in Nashville and I'm there some, and have gotten to know managers, agents, and the musicians. So it became a place where I could do it, and I could talk to those people and find a producer that does that. I think another special thing about putting this together is that most times you would have a big music festival you'd have to hire a big out-of-town group to come in and pay a lot of money to do this. We're doing this with 99% Oklahoma City people. We're doing this with producers that are coming in from Dallas, but for just a fee, and everybody we're hiring is from Oklahoma City. So this is a chance not only for a music festival, Mayor, this is a chance to really create a music industry in Oklahoma. And the idea, as you said last summer, was we brought in all of these Oklahoma artists to play for the tornado victims. And we saw how great that they are, unfortunately having left Oklahoma. This is a chance, I think, to not only have a music festival, but to have a chance to build an industry or create a music industry of booking and producing and doing their whole music industry here. And any net proceeds over and above what our costs are will go toward music donations in Oklahoma City and music scholarships. So this is an Oklahoma City for Oklahoma festival that has a chance to really reap rewards. Based on the music festivals held in other parts of the country, what type of draw is this, regionally or nationally? How would you describe the audience makeup? What percentage is likely to be local and what statewide, and et cetera? I think that this has a chance to have every state in the union represented. This is I'll put this country music festival this year up against anybody's music festival because of the draw that we've got. And so I think Oklahoma City has a chance to shine, not only with all the other events that we've got in Oklahoma City, but really music, and really creating something for Oklahoma City with music here, Mayor.
And it's a reminder for us to, let our citizens know, that people have family and friends from other parts of the country, and they might have been thinking about inviting them to Oklahoma City at some point in the future. Now's the time.
This will be a gem.
And let them stay at your place, because hotel rooms might be a little bit of a premium that weekend.
Already having a tough time getting them for the bands coming in. So exactly.
So your house can be the hostel of your family and friends, but this is a great opportunity for them to show off your city that I know you're so proud of.
Yeah.
When you're starting to deal with an event of this magnitude, what are some of the little things that most people wouldn't even think of? I mean, obviously there's location and bands, but there must be a myriad of other things that just have to hit off the checklist.
Well, we need to work with the city very closely, which we have, on permitting and all of those activities, and where do we park the band buses. Security is a big issue. That was our first thing.
Yeah.
Where do you park a band bus? And there are going to be probably 30 of them. So that's just an interesting part of where we do this. Many of these big acts want their own stage and lights and some of those things that we're dealing with. But it's those little things that are daily that make up a huge festival like this.
And one of the good things about holding an event that's in the evenings on the weekdays and then all day on the weekends is that downtown is especially the central business district, which this site is just adjacent to, is built to house a lot of parking, on Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And at the times that you're holding your event, there's going to be a lot of parking available for people to come downtown. And sometimes that's an impediment for downtown visitors.
There are 4 adjacent surface parking lots ready for anybody coming down. And so, yes, Thursday night we've got sponsor and a VIP ticket, which is available. And please go to OKCFEST and buy your ticket and look to come and join for all of the events. And so it starts at about 5 o'clock on Friday and Saturday night, but during the day, during the Myriad Gardens, there'll be music all day long.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned some events will be of no charge. Can you tell us a little bit more about those?
The events at the Myriad Gardens will be no charge. So the event on the main stage just south of that, or just to the west of the peak, is where the big band stage will be, and those go at night. And during the day and up until the early evening, everything at the Myriad Gardens will be free.
Tell us about the gospel music on Sunday.
On Sunday, I think this is a great way for Oklahoma City to not only have music, try to create an industry, but bring all of Oklahoma City together. Every group, every part of Oklahoma City should have ownership in parts of this music, and there will be.
Different denominations will be represented.
Everybody
from
will be,
all over the city, and
we should.
maybe even further out.
An alt-Latina day, a gospel day, an all-Oklahoma band day, a bluegrass. So we're trying to incorporate every part of Oklahoma City and Oklahoma, and trying to incorporate every type of music that we build here and is our native.
How are ticket sales going so far? And as we tape this show, it's not even June yet. So how are ticket sales going?
Ticket sales are going well. And at some point, we're selling 2 nights, a bookend weekend, all very reasonably. And we're selling single night tickets. And at some point here soon, we'll have to shut down the double night ticket. So it's going well.
What can the general public do, if anything, other than buy tickets? Are there other needs?
Allied Arts is helping us coordinate volunteers, and so if you'd like to volunteer for this, please get on our web page and show your volunteer, and then from there, help with Allied Arts on volunteering as well.
All right, and again, the festival is the 26th to the 29th. That's Thursday through Sunday.
A month away.
And give us the information about website and tickets and where people can go.
OKCFEST is our website. It has all the bands. It has links to all the bands. And again, what with your vision, Mayor, we've been able to pull off with the bands that are coming to Oklahoma City is phenomenal. We'll put ours up against any city in the United States this year.
It should be incredible. Fred, thank you for all the groundwork that went into this event.
Look forward to it.
And of course, your family's leadership involvement and a lot of civic interest through the years, and this just may be the biggest and best one yet.
This could be a great thing for Oklahoma City.
OKCFEST is coming June 26th to the 29th. As Fred mentioned, tickets are available. There'll be plenty of parking downtown, so I urge you to come out, bring your family, bring your friends, and be a part of what should be just the first in a year after year extravaganza to help you celebrate downtown Oklahoma City. More on the Mayor's Magazine after this.
In Oklahoma, the sights and sounds of severe weather are all too familiar.
I'm Frank Barnes, Oklahoma City Emergency Manager. In Oklahoma City, the sirens sound when the National Weather Service issues a tornado warning that includes Oklahoma City.
That's your signal to take shelter and seek information about the tornado that has been detected.
You may hear the sirens more than once. They sound each time a new warning is issued. And remember, there is no all clear signal. Always monitor the weather conditions until the threat has passed.
Welcome back to the Mayor's Magazine. I'm Mick Cornett, the Mayor of Oklahoma City. We're going to give an update in this segment on a project that we began back in 2007. You may remember when national publications started labeling Oklahoma City as one of the fattest cities in the country and started drawing attention to our obesity issue. We in the mayor's office and in the private sector around Oklahoma City decided we've got to get a conversation on. We've got to talk about it. And so, to take a long story and make it short, we put the city on the entire diet, created a website, and a lot of things have happened since then. And Mike Panas is here because Mike was with us in those very early days. And Mike and I only sit here and shake our head now because we had no idea what we were really beginning back in 2007, 2008 when this was launched. And along with Tom Michaud, put together the private sector aspect of this. And I promise I'll let you talk here in a second, Mike, but I feel like there just needs to be a little bit of a presentation here up front. When we started, it was about us and what we were going to do as a city. And then because of the success of the program, others who had been looking for traction in this area started trying to emulate what we were able to put forth. So talk about the early days. When did you first realize this was going to be bigger than just us?
Probably the third week. The third week.
January of 08, I guess.
January of 08,
Yeah.
The third week, it's burned in my memory. We had 150,000 visits to the website.
Mm-hmm.
We had probably 150 companies in Oklahoma City call us. I worked for Foundation Healthcare at the time, Tom Michaud, and he was that company, contributed the server, the website, the design, for your program. And it was just amazing the number of people that came forward and said, I want to help.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
at that
remember
point,
just the email response that was coming into the site was overwhelming.
Hundreds a day. We had to hire an intern from OSU who came in to help us just to manage the traffic, basically. That's when I think we realized, and then several cities started calling maybe about 2 months after that, asking for help. How'd you start? What were the ideas? How'd you get this going? And that's kind of when we knew. I think it was within the first 3 months.
And so at some point, Mike has to decide if this is like the worst idea he's ever been involved with, or something that he could, become a passion of his. And fortunately for us in the city and those around the world, Mike has kind of taken this along as a much more than a hobby, and become a passion of trying to help spread the word about wellness and how you can get communities involved.
That's right. Well, I worked for Foundation Healthcare at the time, and during the 3 years prior to you contacting us, our company had a strategic objective to help the morbidly obese and the overweight population, primarily in Oklahoma and Texas. So and I think that's one of the reasons you may have called us, because you heard what we were doing. And so I think the passion was kind of there when you see the impact that obesity and the overweight situation has on families and friends, and sometimes it's just a tough thing to overcome without some help. And I think the initiative that you started let people realize that, there's other people out there talking about this. There's other resources, people in the community care, let's get together. And just had a myriad of people contact us wanting to help, donating their time, their effort. General Mills called us and wanted to send us healthy snacks, a semi-truckload. And I think what people realized was, there's something about community change that's, somebody can step forward and say, we need to start talking about a subject. Once we start talking, people will come forward. It's not something you do behind closed doors. And let's get it out in the front of us. And Oklahoma City stepped up and they did it. Mm-hmm. But I think that's the type of community we are. We're going to band together around something that's worthwhile and that we should be talking about. And I think that's what other communities saw. They said, how did you see that? Actually, the International Special Olympics called as well and said, how do we get some of that special sauce of what you had in Oklahoma City? Because we want our participants to feel better about their participation in the Special Olympics. And we need to lose weight. Their experience isn't what it should be, but we can't gather the momentum to create an initiative and awareness campaign within the Special Olympics. How'd you guys do it? So you and I have had those conversations with Cleveland Hospital, Cleveland Clinic, HR.com. I know, you've flown on your own personal time and expense to talk about this subject. And it's really taken off. I mean, it's really an initiative, and it's gained its own momentum. And now we see communities around the United States that are trying to create the same kind of an awareness program and bring resources together to benefit their community. A lot of times it's the county health department working with the hospitals like they haven't done before, working with the mayor's organization or the city council, local businesses, and they really want to come together and say, let's band together around some cause. And just last year, the American Medical Association declared obesity a disease, and and all the comorbidities related to that can be significantly taken care of if somebody would lose a little bit of weight, 30, 40, 50 pounds. And this program in Oklahoma City, we have thousands of people that have lost 30, 40, 50 pounds, and hundreds of emails attesting to giving thanks to just, hey, I'm glad somebody stepped up and said, let's talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, just to remind people, and our goal originally was to lose 1 million pounds, and we didn't really set a timetable on it because we didn't know what sort of expectation to we would get. But 4 years and 3 weeks later, we reached the 1 million pounds, and by then, 49,000 people had gone to the website. And that's and signed up. I mean, they just didn't visit the website. That's how many signed up, pledging to do better. And if you do the math, that's 20 pounds apiece.
Right.
For a significant number of people, largely, obviously in the Oklahoma City metro area and some more statewide. And there probably was a handful of people from around the country that, we didn't discriminate. If anybody wanted to be a part of our program and thought that the tools could help, we allowed them part of it. But I would guess 90% of the people were, within a stone's throw's distance of Oklahoma City. Well, I'm going to list some of the other parts of the country that have interacted with Mike, and Mike has been helping them, giving them advice in some cases, helping them with website information in other cases, and just kind of helping them in their structure. But cities like Albuquerque, Houston, Dallas, Tahlequah, Muskogee, Edmond, Enid, Tulsa, Battle Creek, Farmington, Bowling Green, Edmond, Enid, Mobile, Cleveland, Boston, and then some other countries, Israel, South Africa, New Zealand, England, and groups in Finland. And then there's organizations like the University of North Carolina, the state parks of Georgia, the state of Texas, San Jose, California, organization called Global Wellness, the Cleveland Clinic, which is one of the top medical organizations in the world. And so, everybody's program was different. I don't think anyone did a cookie cutter of what we did, but they all wanted to do something similar. Some of it was more involved in physical fitness, and some of it was involved more in food intake, like our program was. But at the end of the day, it was to generate some sort of positive energy toward a situation that just seemed to be ignored in way too many communities.
Right, exactly. And most of these communities that you mentioned have a program. Usually a public organization or public official has stepped forward and said, let's present something. They name their programs like Shape Up Houston, Step It Up Albuquerque, where the mayor goes out and walks every weekend with a group of people. San Jose, California is the city council. And so the state parks of Georgia, they want people to get out and enjoy the state parks. There's a lady that wrote a book called Walk a Hound, Lose a Pound, and she's part of the state parks, and she just loves getting people outside. So it's those kind of things, but it's really focused. I would say 70% of the initiatives are an awareness program, much like you wanted Oklahoma City to be aware of, is just becoming overweight and how it sneaks up on you, and being aware of this. And I mean, I think the program you initiated had a lot to do with this. At the time, we, like you said, we made all the top on all the bad list of, health-oriented type things. And we were at the bottom of Men's Health survey for fitness and health and overweight and all that kind of stuff. We were at the bottom. And just this last year in the last ranking, we were in the top 10.
Yeah.
So we've gone from the bottom of Men's Health to the top. And a lot of people go, well, is that subjective, whatever. No, they're very structured. They look at the CDC information, they look at diabetes, they look at parks, fitness, recreation areas, and the things the city's doing. They look at the percentage of types of restaurants you have to other restaurants. And in Oklahoma City, we've seen a boom. I mean, we've seen chefs come together and have the mayor's sandwich, which is healthy, those kind of things. And this is all taken into consideration on how they rank a city. And so there's a culture shift in what's going on in Oklahoma City. And I think to a degree, probably a large degree, has to do with the initiative.
We're running out of time, but I wanted to talk to you briefly about what's on the website today. I mean, obviously, people aren't signing up and losing weight anymore. We reached the million-pound goal, and we've now, started changing the conversation about how we change the physical infrastructure in Oklahoma City. And so people have seen sidewalks and trails and parks and a lot of those things built, which I think is an integral part of it. But the website today still has some tools. So if you could briefly just kind of give us some information.
You can still track your weight. Track how much weight you want to lose. Of course, when people lose weight, they tend to stop tracking what they've lost, so that's great. But there are restaurants on there, hundreds of restaurants with their nutrition and value. In fact, the Oklahoma City site, thiscityisgoingonadiet.com, has one of the largest restaurant databases where you can look at the food nutrition. Brahms is on there and all these other different restaurants, national chains, even local restaurants. So that's all on there. You can go visit that. You can track your calories. You can track your sleep. You can do anything related to health that might make you healthier, live better, live healthier. It's all on the website.
All right. Mike Panas, thanks for all your work, Mike.
Thank you.
For drawing such positive attention on health, Oklahoma City. And we know we got a long way to go when it comes to health, but it does feel like we've kind of turned the corner and we're heading in the right direction now. So if you'd like more information on the campaign, This City is Going on a Diet, just head to that website, thiscityisgoingonadiet.com. And if you need more information, just send an email in and Mike will get to it when he can. We have more on the Mayor's Magazine right after this.
When you hear an outdoor warning siren in Oklahoma City, you should seek shelter and immediately get information from your TV, radio, computer, or phone.
In Oklahoma City, the sirens sound to warn you that weather conditions may produce a tornado. That's your signal to take shelter and seek information about where severe weather could strike. An all-clear signal does not sound, so always monitor the weather conditions until the threat has passed.
Having a plan is the most important thing you can do to keep you and your family safe. Remember to shelter in place. Go to your storm shelter or innermost room on the lowest level of your home. The more walls between you and the outside, the better. Whenever possible, stay out of your car. It's one of the most dangerous places to be during a tornado.
In addition to a plan, build an emergency supply kit. Our family home was destroyed by a tornado, and although we survived, we were left with nothing until help arrived. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to okc.gov/prepare to find more information on how to build the kit that could save your family's life.
Tornadoes can form at any time of the year. Be prepared, be informed, make a plan, and build a kit.
Welcome back to the Mayor's Magazine. I'm Mick Cornett, the mayor of Oklahoma City, and Mike Knopp is here. Mike runs the Boathouse district, and if you've been down there, you've seen all the extraordinary development that's taken place on the Oklahoma River. And the newest addition, of course, is the Sandridge Sky Zip. So welcome back to the Mayor's Magazine.
Well, thanks for having me back.
There's so much to do down on the river. I think people originally envisioned all that development as a place they could go watch other people row.
Right.
And it is anything today but somewhere you just go to watch. I mean, today you're going down there to do stuff.
Yeah, we want to get people active, and you could spend the whole day there, with all the different activities now.
Well, give us a rundown on, and people may think, that they don't want to do it, but maybe their kids or their grandkids will want to, and they'll at least get them exposed to it. They may decide that they want to do it after they get there. But what type of activities are available down there?
Well, really, there's something for all ages, and all abilities. We have all the adventure activities now, which include the Sandridge Sky Zip, which just opened, but also the Sky Trail, which is the tallest ropes course of its kind in the world. Mm-hmm. We have the Rumble Drop, which is a big free fall experience, the tallest slide in America. I mean, a lot of really unique adventure-related features. And then we have a playground that is all based on health and fitness and movement, and a lot of jumping features. We actually have a little ropes course for 2- and 3-year-olds, so they can do what the big kids and parents are doing So we really tried to make it age appropriate, really for everyone. And then beyond all the things that get you in the air, we have all the activities that get you on the water too. So kayaking, stand-up paddleboard, which has become a really big thing. It's growing across the U.S. And so we have about 50 new stand-up paddleboards. You can come down and get on the water, and it's a little surfing in Oklahoma, I guess, is what it's like. And then dragon boating and soon to be whitewater, which will be coming here about a year and a half.
And there's cycling on the trails.
Of course, all the trails. We rent bikes at the Boathouse and longboards, and so we're real excited. We'll have a trail connection from the river to Lake Overholser here real soon. That's the first MAPS 3 Trails project to be completed. And of course, we have the Route 66 Boathouse as well. So a lot of connectivity that's going to start to occur due to those trails.
Now, does the trail system hook up with the Lake Overholser aspect of your boating?
It will, as soon as we have that
I hadn't
section
made that
done.
connection.
Yeah.
That's
It's
incredible.
going to be really exciting, yeah.
Yeah, very much. Okay, let's talk about the Sandridge Sky Zip, because as far as I know, there aren't any other zip lines in the state of Oklahoma, are there?
Well, there are a few zip lines. There's some in the woods, in different camps and
I see. It's in camps and things like that.
Things like that, but nothing urban like this. This is very unique. So.
And kind of give people an example of the experience. What would they do if they came down to be on the Sandridge Sky Zip?
Well, we put you in a harness, give you a quick little safety some instructions. It's very, if you've never done it before, you are going to go pretty high up into this. You go to the top of the Sky Trail, which is 80 feet tall. But from the bottom, you're in a tracking system, so there is no way that you're going to get out of that track. I mean, it's very safe, and so you progress. You have an option. You could go through the Sky Trail, which are a lot of different challenges as you go up level to level, or you can go straight to the top and go straight onto the zip line. And what we do is we hook you out of the system, hook you onto the zip line, and when you're ready, we send you across.
And it sounds adventurous, but on opening day, you allowed me to go along with the governor and Barry Switzer, and the three of us are not spring chickens. I mean, if the three of us can do it, then I venture to say just about anybody in Oklahoma City can, and it's fun.
This is not about fear or extreme fear. This is about fun, and it's about you do climb. It is a little bit of a workout, which is what we want, to get people out and doing things they wouldn't normally get to do in Oklahoma City. But you get up there and you soar across the river. It's a beautiful view. We talked earlier about the rowers and the kayakers going underneath you as you go over. But it's very, there's nothing jerky about it. It's a very smooth ride, and you get to the other side and you go up higher in the tower on the south bank, and then you zip back. And that's a little bit faster, but it's still a lot of fun. So.
Perhaps one of the best investments this city ever made was the idea of putting dams in the river and creating these river lakes.
It truly is. We're building, as we talked earlier, a fitness culture, but also an outdoor culture, and creating these great adventures that our citizens can have, and it's bringing people in from outside the city as well, and it's pretty exciting.
And congratulations to the great success that
you.
you've helped create out there on the river. Mike Knopp is with the Boathouse District, and of course the website information is at the bottom of your screen here about how you can get more information. But this summer, plan to take your kids, your grandkids, just about anyone of any age out to the Boathouse District on the Oklahoma River and experience what's being offered in Oklahoma City, because it truly is not being offered anywhere else. And it also gives you an opportunity, I think, to think back to just 15 years ago when that river didn't even have any water in it. And today we've created such an incredible recreational vehicle for our citizens. That's going to do it. I want to thank all of our guests that came on the show this month, and we'll be back next month with the July show. Until then, I'm Mick Cornett, the mayor of Oklahoma City, and thank you for making Oklahoma City such a great place to live.